in Sahara and also in Texas, Louisiana, and Germany with the company I worked for, Schlumberger, was primarily geophysical. And what I mean by that is we would be called out to a well being drilled, and at some point the geologists would say, hey, run your surveys down inside the borehole. So we lowered electronic instruments and made all kinds of earth measurements. So we were using the drilling rig. We had to rig up using the rig itself. We had to lower our tools down into that borehole. And so we became very familiar with rig operation. So today what I'd like to do is share with you something about the nature of a drilling rig. Now, if you went out to a deep hole drilling rig, a rotary drilling rig, that would go down about 20,000 feet, you'd find a piece of equipment, in fact, a collection of equipment that is very complex, very powerful, and extremely delicate in the sense that there are so many factors that the guy operating that drilling rig's got to be in touch with. It's a fascinating thing to look at that piece of equipment. So let's make this whole thing simple. A drilling rig is really complex. There are motors, there are engines, there's hoisting equipment, there are sand lines, there are huge wrenches they use to attach pipe to pipe. There is a lot of power being demonstrated in different planes of action. It's very, very complicated. But like all complications, it can be reduced to some simple ideas. So a rotary drilling rig derives its name from, first, drilling. That means to have some sort of instrument that'll go down through rock, some sort of a cutting tool that can go down and take the hole to whatever depth you want it to. Rotary means that that drilling tool itself has to rotate. So a drilling rig supplies a means of rotating a tool on the end of a piece of pipe that will go down like a drill and carve out the rock, hopefully straight down, opening the hole up so if there's oil or gas down there, they can produce it. But really, as complicated as this equipment is, it's really kind of simple. It only has three functions. So the first function of a drilling rig, and if you'll allow me to use this as an example, this of course is an electric drill, and I'm using a light fixture to be like a drilling tool at the end of pipe. The drilling rig has a big derrick, and it has cable that's wrapped around shiv wheels so they can lift and lower heavy loads. So one of the functions of that drilling rig is to lower pipe down into the well. And at times you bring the pipe back out. When we did our surveys, they had to bring the pipe out so we could lower our tools down in that borehole. So lifting is the primary function, to lift heavy loads. Now the drill string, the pipe that's lowered down there, is extremely heavy. Each section of pipe was 30 feet long. And on a deep hole, they usually screwed 3 pieces of pipe together. So you have a 90-foot section of pipe that's being lifted, taken, unscrewed, set aside. When they're coming out of the hole, another 90 feet unscrewed, set aside, and so on. So we have this concept of lowering and raising heavy loads.